So a little catch up today. Miss Wilson called me this morning and said she was gonna come hang out with me about noon. I told her I was at Walmart, and she told me you're the last thing on my mind. I got 20 grand and da 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 da. And I was like, well, you know what? I didn't want your money. I don't want any money. I quit drugs to be with you, and I just want somebody to love me more than money or drugs. And as a significant other dealing with a drug addict and a relapse situation and recovery, you must know your place and know that, getting somebody off of drugs is priceless, and saving a life is priceless. And to sit there and torment and poke and prod and hurt and destroy somebody to a point where you're a trigger at that point. Like she told me, like 2 weeks ago, she told me she was a prostitute, and she literally made it she's hanging out with these old, fat, disgusting old men. And I wasn't even mad. I cried at the restaurant. I just begged her to come home and just stay home and roll your own cigarettes and be proud to be my girlfriend and be proud to be part of this family. Fuck, I'm an American hero. I changed treatment and modernized it and saved countless lives. And she didn't have that. She didn't want to do that. She wanted to keep partying and relapsing and doing whatever the fuck she wanted to do. And today she told me I just keep being nice to her because, like, for some weird reason I feel like they're like, I don't know, something tells me to be nice to her. Somebody always whispers in my ear and says, you know what, if you had to walk a mile in her shoes, she's had it hard enough, be nice to her. And I've been nothing but nice to her till she missed Valentine's Day, and then the next day, and then the weekend, and then today. I don't care about what the fuck you're doing for work. I just want to spend time with you. And she wasn't even putting out with me, and I don't cheat on her, so I'm like asexual now. I might as well be. I got a cuddle buddy. Rubs her hot ass body up against me and expects me to get hard, and then not. I said, well, I got to get off. Why would I care if you get off? Red flag. You know what I mean? That's when it started going down the drain, when she was using drugs and stuff. She had to have been doing something funny. She was on all sorts of medication through the doctor. Another thing is when you're on, that's another thing that she used to her benefit a lot is, I'm on these meds. I don't really know what I feel and what I'm doing. Da, 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 da. She's really bipolar. And the main thing I'm trying to say today is that when you're in a relationship as a recovering addict or as a person dealing with drugs, the worst thing you could do is be negative about anything. Don't tell somebody that you're going to show up and then don't don't freak out on them out of nowhere for no reason because you're having a bad day and they had nothing to do with it. Or be mad that you've been gone for 2 weeks. And like, she called me and she's like, I was like, so you're not coming home tonight? And she's like, quit looking at that girl in their eyes and saying that I ain't coming home tonight. I haven't even talked to another girl. In fact, so many girls are talking to me that I've been screenshotting it and sending it to her. And I'm like, look, if you don't start treating me better, there's going to be some competition around here. You know what I mean? And I said, this weekend, if you don't come home, I haven't took my punching gloves off yet. I haven't said that I was a prostitute or had sex. I haven't had sex with anybody yet. But I was like, you blow me off this weekend, I'll have sex with somebody in our bed. And then, you know what? She called Wilston her apartment, and she called this her home. After that point, this won't be our home no more. That'll be very serious and very, 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 very fucked up. She goes, oh, I'm done today. Bitch, you haven't talked to me in 8 days. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, bitch, you ain't talked to me in 8 days, blew me off 4 times in a row, and then you're going to tell me you're done today? Like, you were done 2 months ago, I thought. You know what I mean? Just because I ain't running around and I'm still nice to you and saying, oh, yeah, you can come home. You know what? My sister told me to be mean to her. I don't even like being mean. I don't like doing it. So I just started being mean to her because my sister told me to. And it started working. When I'm mean to her, she texts me back. When I'm mean to her, she shows up. When I'm mean to her, she fucking comes around. So it sucks. Just treat him like shit. Stick to you like glue, you know? So looks like this weekend's going to be fun, huh? Because she ain't going to show up. I don't know if she will or not. I tried being nice. I tried being mean. I tried gifts. I tried candlelight dinner. Candlelight dinner blew up in my face. That's another thing I wanted to say is like, when you're coming off of drugs, you are heartless and you are more of an asshole. And when you become more into sobriety, you become nicer, and it does change you as a person. And I can see like the difference in it. You know what I mean? And it's when you use hard drugs, you're masking an emotional pain. You know, like I relapse because I'm a lover and I have a lot of emotions, and I was hugged too much as a child. I've only had 3 girlfriends. I was married 8 years, spent most of the time in prison, you know, no real life experiences whatsoever. And this girl I get out of jail, she's just taking full advantage of the situation and destroying something that could have been beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out there cold hearted and already ready to be expected to be fucked over. I actually have hope, you know? And I will always have hope. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I just need somebody that's going to appreciate me for who I am and try to work with me and be a team and build our team up. Like, she come here yesterday, gave me a ride to treatment, and came back, dropped me off, said she was coming back. She still got my handwritten book that's 500 pages long, took me a year to write it, and she still got my $5,000 check that I need to cash to pay the bills here so I can stay here. And she didn't come back. She just left and made up a bullshit excuse about how she was questioned. I called my PO, and my PO said she was not questioned, Scott. She's sounds like there's something kind of fishy going on there. You know what I mean? And I called the police station, and here I am now calling the police station and my PO talking about how this girl's blackmailing me and trying to use that up against me to keep me inside the house or keep me tugging me along in this relationship. You know what I mean? And I didn't do anything but bring that girl to the hospital and try to save her life. And they didn't take her in because she was a felon. Um, and she didn't want the police there. She has a right to deny medical services. I brought her to the hospital against her will. You know what I mean? And this town has the nerve to call me a monster. Um, Pretty amazing, really. Sickening to the core, honestly. And here I am saving countless lives, going to prison for people. Like, I have a sexual assault on a guard. I never touched the guard. I have a delivery of heroin. My cousin signed a notarized statement saying he did it. I have aggravated assault. I never kicked the girl. I was too busy stealing my shit back. And these, every case since I've been arrested, or ever since I sued my home county, has been bullshit. Like, I sat 2 years because I had a baby with a girl, and she kicked the door in at my house and would come over and suck my dick, right? And we went to Kid Rock, and then Kid Rock was canceled, and she ditched me at the bar. And I was walking to treatment at 5 o'clock in the morning. I see her at the gas station. I open the door and I see her with a fat redheaded guy and I have a 60-year-old tranny with fake tits in Minot, North Dakota, you know? And I slammed the door. I could have punched her right there and then. I didn't punch her. I did not punch her. I shut the door and I punched the rear quarter panel and I ran off. Didn't leave a dent, didn't do anything. All I did was hurt my hand and tell her that you fucking hurt my heart. And every domestic that I'm in, you can see little to no pain. You can see that I'm more than likely just protecting myself, you know. And earlier in my news feed, you see me talk about sex trafficking. That's to bring awareness for women to get paid more, because this country is not paying women or treating women fairly. It is not equal rights. But if women want equal rights, I want equal beds. There's only 400 beds for females, and there's 1,500 beds for males. That's where I'm going with this. We were gonna shock my friend yesterday with the electroshock therapy to try to get him off of drugs. We didn't have a 9-volt battery, so he ended up going to 3C and overdosing. He looked like Mickey Mouse from the 1930s, like a film that was in there, and it was overwhelming to see that, because he was my friend from high school and he's overdosed probably 25 times. And if it was not for Narcan, he wouldn't be here. I sold drugs back when drugs didn't kill people, you know? So I won't sell a damn thing. And the cops are so involved in my life that I can't even sneeze. And they would hand me a handkerchief from across the street while I was, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that, dude. And I have nothing to hide. I don't care if you're a part of my life. In fact, I enjoy you just like Creatures by Jelly Roll. You know, my monsters become my friend, the dragon at my window. Um, I just want you guys to take a very strong look at yourself and remember that you have a big impact on people around you on your day to day life. Instead of being a negative, a trigger, a nuisance, or destructive, be positive and build something. You know, do what's not expected and keep your promises. If there is anything left there, if not, then keep it real and stop texting me or calling me on Valentine's Day to say that you're coming here. Like, why the fuck would you do that? My nickname is Lover. You call me on the day of love and tell me you're going to show up and I quit drugs for you? I ain't quit drugs for nobody, not even my fucking self. And you didn't show up? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. She's got a master's degree, and sure she does, because I don't know. I'd like to say the sex trafficking's a joke, but it's probably not, and it's absolutely. I am dumb. I'm dumb. I just wanted to save a girl's life, and I just thought love was real. You know, I thought maybe, just maybe, she would see it, and she would want it. She'd want that better life. She don't. There's no hope for her, just like she cried in front of me at the Chinese restaurant, and I cried right back at her and told her there is. I can't force her to come home. And the only time she is going to come home is when I got something good here, like somebody new or something to fuck up and try to destroy some more. I don't know. She said she was done today. I hope she's not. I hope she does come this weekend, just because I'd like to help her. If not, then so be it. I just need to move out of here. I need to get my shit and go. I don't want to be a part of this circus anymore. And she runs around with that check in my book. That's 160, that's like 600 pages. That's what I worked on for 2 years. I wrote it, and she won't fucking give it back to me. She kept it because she knew that she could fucking still see me one day for that book. And you don't love me? Right. If you didn't love me, you would have left the book and took the money and fucked off, not kept the money and kept the book so you could come back. So that's another thing. Like, as human beings, you need to take a hard look and accepting reality. Accepting reality is that I am in love with Miss Williston, even though I wasn't even mad that she was a prostitute. I just wanted her to spend time with me. I guess I just wanted my turn. Is that ridiculous to say? It is, isn't it? It's absolutely sickening, especially as a drug addict in recovery, as a felon, and all these things going on. All she has to do is say that I stole something over $1,000. That's a felony. Probation's revocated. Boom, done. All she has to do is produce a receipt. She doesn't have a record. She could fuck my life over tremendously. And it's funny that she'd go that far. And even more, to tell me she's a prostitute and do all that too by saying she's being questioned by the police and saying I said some blackmailing me pretty much. And like, I don't know, maybe she wants to be my wife. My mom says she wants to be my wife. She probably does, because you know what? That's what wives do. They normally do the most rotten and most evil shit ever to you. You know, you would think that's what a wife's supposed to do, right? Wrong! They're supposed to love you. I sit here still doing the same shit I did when she was here. She goes, everything was okay and as long as you were there. I go, I've never left. You're the one that left. You know, this girl has a master's degree, and I'm like, the fuck is going on here? I might be mentally slow, but I think I got too big of a heart, and I can't save everybody. You got to want to save yourself before you can save anyone. And you got to love yourself before you can love anything. You know, I'm taking the extra steps and miles to pull strings, to even just spend a little time with her, to hopefully get her right on the right path. But it seems not to work. And all I'm doing is destroying myself as she destroys herself and destroys us. That's what she wants. I'm not going to let her. I'm going to pull my head out of my ass and I'm going to man up. And you know what? At least I didn't jump off the cliff this time. All I did was stub my toe. If you don't know that acknowledge, then I don't know. Maybe I'm not that dumb or maybe I'm not that smart. Either way, I got to get to work on my book. Please subscribe so you can follow me more on my day-to-day drama, my day-to-day life as a recovering addict in the Bakken, as a disabled recovering addict in the Bakken. And you know what? The nice thing to know about me is when I was 7 years old, I had a out of spiritual experience, and I write about it. And I've been touched by an angel, and I'm living on borrowed time. In all seriousness, in all reality, that is the truth. And I am a miracle baby. My heart, I wasn't supposed to live past. I had a toe tag of 25 after my surgery, and if with not my surgery, I would have been dead at 8. I should not be here. Period. And it's funny how all these things happen to where I'm suing my home county state because I was self-medicating because I've been on medication since I was 5 years old and on pain pills since I was 5 years old till I got a delivery of marijuana. And then they red labeled me and told me I couldn't be on any controlled substances because I was a drug addict. Well, I have a headache and my heart's fucked up. I've been on pills all my life. You know what I mean? So this methadone program helps a lot. Medicated assisted treatment is not only saving lives, but it's also stopping overdose by giving people tolerances before they're released. It's also making it so when people do relapse, their brain isn't receiving the same amount of dopamine as if they weren't on methadone. There's so many things that I open the doors to for our justice system, far as somebody coming and detoxing off of heroin while they're in jail and being able to be put on a life-saving measure to make sure that they don't detox and die or choke on their vomit, or when they're about to be released, they can be put on a methadone 90 days before they're released, so that way, if they do happen to relapse or if they go in front of the drugs, it won't give them as much dopamine, and it won't kill them. So yeah, I did save, and I did take a big part of saving and changing people's lives throughout the Midwest of America and in North Dakota. And now I'm trying to sue a federal building. Rugby's federal, so I guess I'm trying to get methadone in the federal justice system too. And that would be across all the United States of America, baby. I am an American hero living today. And you know what I got from it's a very humbling job being a recovery specialist and modernizing treatment. It is a very humbling job because I have received no money. I have received several thank yous, and even a man at Walmart was crying when he met me. He said his daughter was on drugs and went to Ward County, got on methadone, and when she got out, she stayed home. So I saved that guy's family. I didn't even know who he was, but he cried and hugged me. And I don't know. Until I see you guys next time, remember, be positive. You can do it. Look in the mirror. Positive affirmations. You are worth it. Everyone is worth it. Don't let something like stubbing your toe destroy your life. Life is good, and we're all here for a good reason. And now put some good out in the community, because being bad is so 90s. And the 90s are over. It's time to be good.